Today, I'm sharing tips on what you can be doing in July to be preparing your MBA applications for round one. The first tip is to be revising your essay outlines. Hopefully you have done outlines or started them at least, and now you're in the updating stage of those. So do some iterations. Essays become way easier to do once you have worked on outlines for the different prompts that a school is asking. The second tip is to revise your short answers. So short answers are everything a school asks in the application outside of the main essays. So these are typically things like, what are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? And you want that content to complement your essays, but not to overlap. So make sure you know what those are and that you're attacking them at the same time as your outlines and essays. The next tip is continue doing your school research. So hopefully you've got a list of schools at this point for round one. You might need to narrow it down. You might need to add a couple, but continue talking to students and alums, learning what classes and clubs and experiential learning activities might be helpful resources at that school to help you reach your goals. Next, you want to start those online applications. So they should all be live here in July. So go into those applications, see what a school is asking, and start doing that busy work. It is not at all fun, but it's got to get done. There's no common app for business schools, so you need to customize it for whatever that school is asking. So there will be some biographical information. They'll ask questions about your jobs, your extracurriculars. So get in there and do that early so you're not scrambling at the end of August or early September on that. The next tip is to formally ask your recommenders to write those letters for you. So you might have already gotten their agreement earlier, but if you haven't, early July is a great time to do that. Hopefully you've been in touch with them, you've nurtured those relationships, whether it's somebody who's in your office that you see a lot or maybe a previous supervisor, so they won't be caught off guard when you're making that ask. But July is a great time to do that. It's also a great idea in July to write the first draft of your essays. So build on those outlines, start crafting them into sentences and paragraphs that your outline started with the general ideas, and now you can get more specific. It's a good idea to do iterations and also to share those with a trusted advisor before you get ready to submit them. The last tip is to create or update your resume. So you want this to be one page, and admissions committees are not going to look at it for a long time. You've got maybe about a minute to make a great lasting impression on them. So use that real estate wisely across your work experience, your extracurriculars and leadership experiences and education, and then maybe an interest section at the bottom, interests and skills. But make sure that it's just one page, and that way you'll make a short and sweet but lasting impression.